So we've been getting a ton of details, leaks, news, information, things like that about Season 2. There's currently a bunch of Battlefield Labs tests going on. There's a lot happening currently because Season 2 is going to be launching on February 17th, so there's a lot to go through basically. Obviously for a lot of people it's not that fun that Season 1 has extended for this long, but hopefully with this delay we're going to be getting an action-packed, really cool Season 2. But of course there's a ton of details that I want to go through in today's video because a lot of this stuff sounds pretty interesting, and I do think that Season 2 is shaping up to be a thematically good season as well. But before we do that, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications set to all so you can stay up to date with all of the Battlefield 6 content here in the channel, and let's just dive right on into it. Alright, so starting off with what Season 2 is actually going to be about. It looks like Season 2 is going to be taking place somewhere in Western Europe or something around that, and it seems like it's going to be themed a lot around gas. So gas-powered weapons, gas-themed limited time modes, things like that. So if you've been going on Reddit, X, things like that over the past couple of days, you're probably gonna have seen a lot of stuff, but obviously I can't show footage and things like that in this video. But for the most part, what it looks like is Season 2 is going to have some pretty interesting maps. So it looks like there could be 2 confirmed maps right now, possibly 3 maps, though that's not 100% confirmed, but we do know about at least 2, which are the first one, which was actually confirmed by the devs, which is the Contaminated map. It looks like it's going to be a sort of medium to large kind of sized map. It's not huge, but it does seem like it's going to be around the size of Merak Valley and Eastwood. They also compared it to some maps from Battlefield 1 and 5, which were St. Quentin Scar and Arras. So a lot of people were talking about how they were fans of those maps. This map also kind of looks a lot like the Monte Grappa map, I believe from Battlefield 1, so it does seem like they're taking a lot from some older map formulas for Battlefield, which is great because, you know, the maps I just kind of mentioned from the previous games are good maps, and hopefully this map, Contaminated, will actually be more balanced and just a better experience. It also looks like it's going to be a little bit more complex according to some of the leakers and data miners. It's actually more complex than Eastwood is. There's actually going to be some underground things like tunnels and other sorts of subterranean kind of battle zones and things like that. So that's pretty interesting, and it does seem like this map is going to have some depth to it, and it does sound like it's going to be a really solid map. The only thing is it doesn't look like this map is going to include jets. What we do know is that it looks like this map's going to have the Little Bird and the helicopter at the very least, but it doesn't look like this is going to have jets on it, which might be disappointing to some people, but if the map is fun to play on, hopefully it's going to make up for that absence of jets. Now, it's not clear what other maps are going to be added in Season 2. It looks like one of them might be called Subsurface, and according to Temporeal, who is a very prominent data miner for Battlefield, it seems like Contaminated and Subsurface are going to actually be connected somehow through the possible return of Operations. Now the thing is, a lot of people were wondering how is Operations going to be different from Breakthrough, because what I believe is that in Battlefield 2042, Operations was renamed Breakthrough, and now in Battlefield 6 we have Breakthrough. It looks like, according to Temporeal, the difference is going to be that Operations in Battlefield 6 is going to have maps be combined, and it's going to return the concept of battalions to Battlefield. So it looks like there's going to be some differences that'll make the mode a little bit more varied. As for a possible third map, it's not 100% clear if that's going to happen, but personally I'm really hoping we get at the very minimum 3 maps. If the previous leaks of propaganda from Battlefield 4 returning are true, it's very possible this could be a Season 2 map, maybe late Season 2, and it might be remastered to fit the European theme, which is something that I remember hearing from, I believe, one of the data miners a while back, that it was going to be remastered for a European themed season, and Season 2 does appear to be a European setting, so that might actually turn out to be true at the end of the day. A lot of people are a little bit upset at the lack of really large maps, but what we do know is that Golmud Railway from Battlefield 4 is going to be making a return to Battlefield 6. It's going to be remastered, it's going to be fixed up and things like that. It's not just going to be ported over, they're going to be kind of reworking it, and it's supposed to go through a ton of Battlefield Labs tests in order to ensure that it's actually balanced, that it's good for aircraft, things like that. The size of it is not going to change. David Sirland did confirm that, but you know, some people were expressing that they were a little bit upset about it because they didn't like that map. Other people were like, well, it's a large map, why does it matter? Some people like Golmud Railway. Whatever you feel about it, it's official, but it's not going to be a Season 2 map. At the very earliest, it's probably going to be sometime in Season 3, and it is planned to be one of the largest maps in Battlefield 6. There were also some rumors that a Bad Company 2 style Onslaught is reportedly coming back, so not 100% 100% sure if this one was confirmed by any data miners, but I did see this being posted on X that it's possible this might come back. The Season 2 Battle Pass is also going to include a lot of gas-themed skins, and from some of the Battlefield Labs leaks, we actually got to see a lot of what these skins look like. They look significantly more grounded. They still kind of have that tactical style that, you know, some people don't like, some people do like, but I do 100% think that this is a much better set of skins compared to what we had in Season 1. It looks like there's also going to be 2 new squads, one for Pax Armada and one for NATO, which is something that we had in Season 1 too. So it seems like Season 2 is going to be incorporating some new squads. Now for weapons and gadgets, there's quite a couple of leaks on those fronts. First off, the main gadget that seems to be kind of getting a lot of attention appears to be a drone gun, and it's modeled after a real drone gun. It looks like this is going to be a recon class gadget. It looks like, according to Temporeal, it's going to have 3 charges, and it's going to auto recharge every 15 seconds, and it can instantly destroy enemy equipment and can intercept and shoot down guided missiles, and it has long range disruption, so you don't actually have to get close to your target. Again, this isn't officially confirmed. These were found through some data mines and things like that, but this does sound like a pretty overpowered gadget. However, it also sounds pretty interesting, and it might give the recon class a bit more pizzazz. A lot of people don't really like the recon class. It's actually the lowest played class, I want to say, in Battlefield, so maybe this will give people a reason to play it. And then in terms of weapons, it looks like there's going to be 3 weapons that are going to drop immediately in Season 2 at the beginning, which are the MG5, the VHS D2, and the MSBS Grot 762N, very long name. And it looks like there's going to be some additional weapons like the Scorpion Evo 3, which will arrive in a later patch, similar to how the DB12 shotgun was in Season 1. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any jet loadouts anytime soon. Aside from propaganda, it looks like Talah Market and Downtown were dropped, as they have been removed from the data mines, so they can't be found anymore. It looks like they're not going to be bringing those 2 maps back. It seems like the reason being is because, and this is my speculation here, but I think it's because those are smaller maps, and drawing conclusions from the fact that they're returning Goldmud Railway from Battlefield 4, it looks like they're trying to focus on incorporating larger, older maps instead of the smaller ones, just because Battlefield 6 already has plenty of small, infantry-focused maps. And of course, the Little Bird is going to be at the beginning of Season 2 with its own loadouts and things like that, and it looks like the first map that it's going to be included on is Contaminated. Let me know what you guys think of these leaks in the comments below, how you feel about them, what you think about the official details. Of course, with leaks, it's important to take things with a grain of salt because they may or may not end up actually being true. But of course, as always, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about all of these details. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications set to all so you can stay up to date with all of the content here in the channel. And that's all for today, folks.